Dzulkhairi Singapore. Johor Traffic Police Chief Supt Dzulkhairi Mukhtar said action will be taken against the driver who allegedly crashed his car into two 25-year-old Singaporeans in Johor Baru. Undergraduate Justinian Tan was killed while his friend Brandon Yeo broke a bone in his thigh in the August 25 accident. The duo and 4 other friends had driven across the Causeway for supper. The victim's friends had said earlier that the Johor police told them that the driver was not arrested even though he had turned himself in. In a telephone interview with Today, Dzulkhairi said the driver involved in the accident will be arrested. Tan, a student at Kaplan Singapore, was pronounced brain dead at Singapore General Hospital, SGH, on Monday, and taken off life support early on Wednesday. The accident happened at about 3 a.m. on August 25 when the 6 friends, all primary schoolmates, were about to enter their car parked at Jalan Dato' Abdullah Tahir, about a 15-minute drive from the Johor Baru Customs Complex. Another car swerved towards them, hitting Tan and Yeo. Yeo, an insurance agent, broke his femur, but has since been discharged from hospital. Joshua de Rosario, a member of the group, told Today the errant car's brake lights were not even on, and it kept going straight at them. Justinian flew about 15 to 20 meters, and started choking and moving frantically with blood in his mouth, said the 25-year-old medical imaging student, who tried to remove the blood and saliva from his friend's mouth. The driver then drove off instead of helping them. The friends said. The rest of them were not injured. The police and ambulance arrived about 30 minutes later. By then, about 100 people had gathered along the street. When the victims arrived at Johor's Sultan Amana Hospital, de Rosario said they were asked to pay Rm2,700 first before the medical crew would conduct scans on the 2 men. According to the news report, the friends were told of the duo's prognosis about 4 hours later. The hospital then requested another Rm1,350, as Tan needed an operation because he had severe bleeding and a blood clot in the left side of his brain. His parents, who had arrived at the hospital by then, were told their son had a 50-50 chance of survival. However, when they were told that the brain operation would be conducted by a medical officer instead of a surgeon, the family asked for Tan to be transferred to SGH. Said Jocelyn Tan, 29, one of his 3 siblings. The family also sought help from the Singapore Consulate General in Johor Baru for the cross-border hospital transfer, and it arranged for a Malaysia-operated private ambulance. Jocelyn said the ambulance ride back to Singapore took an hour and 15 minutes. The ambulance personnel told the family that they could not use the ambulance siren as they might be issued with a traffic summon. By the time Tan was admitted to SGH, it had been almost 10 hours since the accident. Doctors at the hospital said that too long a time had passed, and Justinian's injuries were too severe, said de Rosario. De Rosario filed a police report on Tuesday upon hearing that the car had been identified. Peter Ong, director of Templars Law LLC in Singapore, told Today that in a hit-and-run case, the Malaysian police would typically find the plate number and go to the driver's house to complete a report. They might not arrest on the spot, but they may charge the person when investigations reveal more later. It's not unfair in the sense that they are still investigating the incident. It is not letting him, the driver involved in an accident, off, said Ong, a Malaysian who used to practice law in his country. But in Singapore, they would arrest first, then the driver would be let out on bail.